the next time I heard about you after Okama, man, I found out that you were helping my brother out with some winch clips in Au Revoir. And, I was part of filming, I would, assuming from the shots that I saw, like I was there for maybe 40-50% of the spots.
Okay.
So I helped out a decent amount over the years, So I know which ones I was a part of, but then when I found out you helped out, I want to know, like, between you and I, like, which spots did you help out with? And, like, how was that experience working with Raph when you never met?
Yeah. So I think I sent him a few spots, one of which was an absolute no-go, but he had probably already had some of the ones I sent him.
He had so many spots on his Google Maps.
So many. And
been on it with him. It's crazy.
He had a plan of, like, what he was going to hit on this trip. And I think he needed a winch. And it was just him and Jonathan. I think it was just those two. That was the plan. And so it's tough to winch with two people.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it now because you have electric winches, but it's not ideal. Like 3 or 4 people is like the ideal size squad, I think. So yeah, I don't know how we got in contact. I think he was looking for a winch, maybe posted on a story or something of like, anybody have a winch in the Midwest or whatever? And I was like, yeah, of course I do. Like, yeah, you could definitely use it. And so he came by and picked it up one day. And then he continued on through to like West Rock area of Illinois. I wasn't there for any of that because I was working Monday to Friday. And then he came back and he hit a spot in like South Middle Michigan. I don't know if it was. Do you remember what the last spot he hit in the movie was? What the ender spot was?
Well, the ender spot is that same spot Dylan collapsed himself on.
That was the ender spot.
That's the ender
okay,
spot. So he goes block to block.
Okay, it was towards the end. It was a couple before that. It was like the waterfall drop.
Was it the triple step down
triple
ledge?
Step. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So he does like a switch 50,
kicker.
like fakey ollie out, and then he does a 50 back 270, back to regular.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that was the spot I helped out with.
Okay, sick.
And we showed up. I showed up. He was like, "Here's the pin. Show up." He already had the winch, so I just showed up ready to drive the winch. John would film. Raph would ride.
So it was already set up by the time you got there, or were you part of setting up?
The night before, he and John were out there like scoping. At like 2 a.m. They scoped it and then they rub bricked and waxed it, and I think they even put the pallet like wedge kicker in there too. So I think it was ready to go when we got there. I don't know if he had scoped the landing yet or not. Maybe he did that when we were there setting up the winch. But yeah, we get there. It's like 9 a.m. and there's people working so it's a dam, and usually there's like a building at a dam that is either like running the hydro of it or just maintenance.
It's like the generator, whatever. It's like the camera, it's like something. There's always some sort of like room or building or something.
With like a government employees or like state
town
employees or town employees. So there's a few guys that are obviously like in either high vis or they're in like an official truck and they're just hanging out at the spot. And Raph's like, I don't know if I really like that. Like, I don't want to start hitting it and then get kicked out. And then like, who knows, might never be able to hit again.
Yeah.
And so we're just sitting there for like a few hours and like, oh, they'll probably leave soon. Like they'll leave for lunch or like they're only doing like a morning call because everything's ready to go now. We got the winch in the tree. Like everything's good to go. Winch is mounted to a telephone pole. And so we're just sitting there hanging out, which was pretty cool. Like I got to hang out with Raph and it was cool just to like see inside of his mind a little bit and just shoot the shit. But these people
get to know him,
and he's like a super cool guy. As you know, he's your brother. So we were just hanging out. These people are not leaving. It's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Like they haven't left. They've been here all day. And at this point, Raph is committed to not hit this until they leave because you never know. Like,
why wait?
Like, we've already waited this long. Like, we'll just wait till they leave. They're not going to be here all night. Like, they're going to leave at 5 or 6 o'clock whenever their shift is over or whatever it is. So 5 o'clock comes around, 6 o'clock comes around. Finally, they start packing up to leave after we've been there for the entire day, just waiting. We were just waiting for, like, I would never hit a spot like this. Like, if you were hitting a spot with Dylan Mead, like, you would be like,
if you can't hit it now, you're going somewhere else.
Exactly, we're going somewhere else. Like, we don't have time to burn. Like, we're on a trip to get clips. So it was just unique to see like his approach. It was very much so. We're just gonna hang back and wait until it's right to hit, and when it's right to hit, gonna hit it. I'm gonna get the clips, and he did. Like. That day, I think he did, I don't remember what he did. I think he 50-50'd it. I think he 50-53'd to like the last one, or I don't remember what it was. I was trying to focus on driving the winch.
Right.
And I think at the end of the session, he was starting to try back twos down to the last one, and he didn't land it, but he got close. And then the next day, I was working, so I couldn't help out. I tried to reach out to some people that could help them. Nobody was able to. Everybody was working or busy or whatever. So I think he got that clip with John was driving the winch
and
as
filming.
well as
So they set up
filming.
the camera still.
I think he was on the
started
drone.
it. Then he was. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I think he had a
Drone setup.
camera, and he was driving the winch, which is hairy to say the least. But he got the back two. I told him he should have done it switch, but back two is good enough.
Yeah.
Because I said I'm going to go there and do a switch back two now to one up you.
Yeah, nice.
So
is that one of the clips you're trying to stack for your?
That'll be my
part?
ender if I ever do it. That'll be my ender. Yeah,
Nice.
switch back two on that.
That's legit.
Yeah. Call it all hello. Or just.